Hi everyone, my name is Mike Bryan and I'm happy to have here today Ann Combs from Helen Purcell. She's the Director of Admissions and Activities. Ann, thanks so much for coming today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
So, as we talked off camera before, we're doing a lot of these videos to update folks on what services are available at places in our neck of the woods, and Helen Purcell is one of them. We wanted to do an update there and let everyone know what services you offer. So, first things first, can you let us know where you're located?
I sure can. Helen Purcell is located in the middle of a pristine residential neighborhood, which is so different from most long-term and assisted care facilities. We're located at 1854 Norwood Boulevard. It's between Linden Avenue and Maple Avenue. In a beautiful wood-like setting, we have 11 acres of grounds. We have walking trails, and it is just the most beautiful place to come and find an additional home.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
Sounds like it. And what's the best phone number in case someone wants to get in contact with you?
Best phone number to find me is 740-453-4099.
Okay. And what about email, if someone would like to email you?
Email is Ann, A-N-N, Combs, COMBS, at helenpurcell.org.
Okay. And as you just mentioned, the website, helenpurcell.org, has quite a bit of information there available. Describes the different types of care. And I was able to see that you can do a virtual tour as well if you would like. And there's a separate form where you can actually have a live tour with you. I understand that form goes directly to you, right?
It comes directly to my email, and I typically follow up on that within 24 hours. So.
Okay, all right. So it also shows a list of different activities that we'll talk about more here later on in our video here today. But one of the things I'd like to focus on first is what type of care do you offer? I understand it's basically assisted living and independent living. Can you describe that for folks, what that means?
I sure can. We are a residential care facility as opposed to a skilled nursing facility. So assisted living is what we like to encompass all of it under. We encourage you to come at an independent level when you're needing some help with maintenance, doing the laundry, keeping up with the house, not wanting to cook anymore. We look at you as independent, but you're needing some assistance. The other avenue of care is truly assisted living, where there's a requirement for nursing care to be involved, medication, bathing, clothing assistance, possibly feeding, Hoyer lifts, those types of things, and that's under our assisted living umbrella.
And I think that's a much broader definition of assisted living than it used to be. Folks who have been in this industry for a while, they might think of assisted living just as needing just a little bit of care, but it's a pretty wide range, I understand now.
It really is. And when you look at the multitude of medical things that can cause you to need that care, hearts now, if you need that, strokes, Parkinson's, neurological issues. Also, memory care is a part of that, and that's an ever-growing need in our baby boomers as they're aging.
Yeah.
We're starting to see a lot more need for dementia and Alzheimer's care, and that's something that we provide as well.
Well, and tell me about the different living arrangements. I understand there's garden suites, legacy living, and Shinnick Center. Can you please describe those for us?
Sure. We look at those as addresses within Helen Purcell. The garden suites are the beautiful apartments that have been added on. They are typically 1 to 2 bedrooms, some 2 bathroom apartments. They have a living room, dining area, and a kitchen facility. Beautifully maintained and extremely spacious. A lot of them have walk-in closets. So as you're looking to downsize, we do provide space for you there. So those are the garden suites.
Okay.
And they're located on the second and third floors of the Yale Avenue side of Helen Purcell.
I see.
Okay?
Okay.
Legacy living is a combination of some suites and some studios. And those, when I say a studio, I liken it to senior dormitories.
Okay, okay.
We know what that's like from going
Yeah,
to college,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
We downsize and you've got a room that easily accommodates a bed. You can set up your own little kitchen in there with a microwave, a
Sure.
Keurig, you know, and
Yeah.
you can have your own little kitchen, and a bath, and it's just enough. And
Yeah.
you don't find that you don't need all the trappings that we had
Right.
when we owned a home.
Yeah.
But we do have some suites there as well that are 1 bedrooms.
Okay.
And then we have our Shinnick Care Center. That is the area that is truly the assisted living umbrella,
Sure.
and that includes memory care. And we have 19 of those units, and we love the care that's provided there. They are all the studio type setup, almost like a hospital room, but that's where you're getting provided the most medical and nursing care.
Okay. Okay. Now the memory care side of it, explain that a little bit for folks. What does that mean? What does that entail?
Sure. Our Shinnick Center is protected under a product called WanderGuard, meaning that our doors for those that are not afflicted with excessive wandering are able to operate those doors coming in and out as easily as you and I
Sure.
opening a door. Those that are excessive wanderers that need that protection have an ankle bracelet,
Yeah.
and that prevents those doors from opening. If they do open, it is then alarmed, and those doors are manned right beside the nurse's station,
I see.
so that we can assure the safety of our residents
That
that
does-
need that care.
That seems very safe. That's good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, and so some of the other amenities that are available, could you describe a few of those?
Certainly. Besides the walking trails and the beautiful facility that Helen Purcell is, we are very traditional in our setup there. When you walk into the living room of Helen Purcell, you'll be greeted by a baby grand piano, a fireplace, traditional furnishings that we've heard are liked very much by the individuals that are living there and of that generation.
Sure.
So that is something that very much enjoy.
Yeah.
Also, we have daily activities, one-on-ones, great cooking. That's another really big deal.
Sure.
I
That's a
will
big
say.
deal. Yeah.
Food is very important, and we have a cooking kitchen, and serve the things that you might not, we might not enjoy, but some of the older generation, liver and onions, sauerkraut, beets, hamburger gravy. People really love
Sure,
those, and you'll
yeah.
find them on our menus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I understand too, for folks that need transportation, you guys provide that as well.
We do. We have a lovely 12-passenger bus that we take outings on, but we can also transport those that need transportation to medical appointments.
Sure.
With a wheelchair. So we do utilize that as well.
Okay. Now, let's say someone has talked to you and they've maybe had a tour, whether it's in person or virtual, and they've decided this is the place they want their loved one to go. Typically, you're going to have an agreement signed and go through all those normal steps. I assume they can take that with them and review that at home if they need to.
Yes.
But after they've signed all of that, what is move-in day like? Because that can be quite a transition from someone if they're moving from home or an apartment or whatever. Describe what that's like.
Sure. Move-in day, it depends upon the situation that the person is in. Obviously, there's a resignation typically to what's the change that's about to occur. I always say the most difficult part is making the decision.
Mhm.
It's not the actual move, but it's the actual making the decision
Sure.
to make that transition. So on move-in day, you'll be greeted by our maintenance team to begin with, and they're amazing with carts to unload your vehicles and get you all set up. And we encourage families to do that before the resident actually comes, so that
Makes sense.
when they actually come into their space, they see things that are theirs,
Yeah.
and they can immediately begin to feel that it's home.
Mhm.
So the first thing that the new resident will experience after getting acclimated is to meet our nursing staff, to go through an assessment there. You'll be met with food, of course, because that's very
Always
important.
good. Always good.
Always good. And then our life enrichment staff will come and they will welcome you and start to show you the ropes and how to get around and that type of thing. You will immediately feel that you are part of the Helen Purcell family,
Okay.
and not only from our staff, but from our other residents.
Mhm.
That's very important as well,
Sure.
because it is a family setting. So.
Well, that's great. Okay. Well, and so, other questions that I get are, how do I pay for my loved one's care? And I understand that at Helen Purcell, folks can try to use the Veterans Pension Benefit, aid in attendance. We've talked about that before. Privately pay, or even long-term care insurance if they have that.
Correct. One of the other things that I think is a huge secret that people don't realize, one of the benefits of Helen Purcell being a private nonprofit, Helen Purcell offers benevolent care. And what benevolent care is, Helen Purcell, the person that started this, wanted widows to have a place that it wouldn't become a financial burden for them to be cared for in their later years.
Mhm.
So when we look at the application process, we're looking for assets or a means to sustain for 3 to 4 years. We understand that longevity can sometimes extend well beyond our resources and our assets.
Sure. Yeah.
So what Helen Purcell offers is we have a trust that can actually assist in funding a continued stay. We never want someone to have to leave Helen Purcell because they run out of resources.
Mm-hmm.
We have benevolent care to be able to assist with that as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a pretty rare thing too. I don't think I've heard
I don't
that.
believe that exists anywhere else but right here in Zanesville, Ohio.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yes.
Well, and that kind of leads into some other just general questions. There are a lot of places to choose from. What are the things that you think really sets Helen Purcell apart?
There are many. First of all, the fact that we are locally owned and operated by a strong management team that answers to a board of directors that are all local Zanesville business people that are very much invested in seeing the continuation and into perpetuity for Helen Purcell. So that's number one. Number two is the management staff that I've talked about. There are 5 of us. Only 2 of us have been there for a year, and I'm one of them. But our executive director, Vince Durant, our director of resident health, Missy Miller, Vince has been there for over 10 years. Missy's been there for 37. Buster Rittenhouse, our director of facilities, has been there for 42 years. Our director of nursing has been there for 20 years. Our director of AIDS has been there for 20 years. So you have a longevity and continuum of care at a management level that has set a standard that I don't think anybody else can touch in this area. Okay? When you have management that is that invested in that care, it can't help but trickle down into the other employees. Helen Purcell is invested in taking care of the people that work there so that those people take the best of care of your loved ones. And that's part of what Helen Purcell is.
That's fair.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that gives folks a really good overview of what to expect. I think they have a good feel for Helen Purcell now after after this video today. So thanks for all that information, and thanks to all of you for watching this today. I hope that is helpful, and certainly be sure to reach out to Ann if you have any more questions. So thanks again, and have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.